listening to Sports Talk 916 with Greg Bull and Coach Greg Veroza.
If you'd like to participate in the show, there are a couple of ways to do it. If you want to contact us on Twitter, use the show's Twitter address, which is @SportsTalk916. For Greg B., go to @MrChief916. And for me, Coach Greg, it's @Greg Veroza. And Veroza is Varozza. And if you want to chat live with us, the best place to go is go to the Mixler page and hit chat. There you'll see all of us chatting together as the show goes on. ¿Qué pasa? What's up, guys? Did you get it that time?
I got it.
Okay. Hey, Sunday night, just like usual, 8 o'clock, right here. Episode 214, I believe. Sports Talk 916 is the place you're at. My name is Coach Greg. Over there's my buddy, Mr. Chief, Greg Bull.
What up?
Together, like we always say, we are the two-headed monsters of Greg that are Sports Talk 916. Too bad nothing went on this week.
Yeah, not a damn thing. Huh?
Fucking boring. Okay, thank you very much. Good night. Have
Right.
a good...
Woohoo! Back. No, it was actually a decent week.
Yeah.
We came off of a pretty good draft recap show.
Yeah.
And then, NBA's beautiful, and a week later you get free agency. You don't got to
Right.
wait.
Right.
And as a Kings fan, free agency's kind of sucked so far. But free agency's been eventful.
Yeah, there's been some interesting offers, some interesting signings.
We got to see Madison Bumgarner make his return to.
I got to almost bump shoulders with Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, I got to talk to him. We got some audio with that coming up here in a little bit.
You had another couple of spotting things with.
Yeah, I met Brian Sabian.
Yeah,
Met Christian.
he was wearing old man's sports clothes.
He was.
He was wearing really old, weird.
But he had to
sports
blend in, and it worked. No one recognized him.
I don't think he could have had a T-shirt that had Sabian on the back.
He could have been
half
wearing
the people wouldn't have known who he was.
Jersey that said "I am Brian Sabian," longest name ever.
Right.
And no one would be like, "What? That's a weird jersey to have, dude." I met Christian Arroyo, poor kid.
Right.
And free agency is going, so we'll talk about all of it.
Had a run in with Scott Moak, not a run in, but
Ran into Scott Moak.
ran into Scott Moak. That was kind of cool. Randomly.
It was a good time though. So, Barn Bomb, good evening, Greg and Greg. Latest on free agency is that Twitter posted Ben McLemore has agreed to terms with Memphis. Yes, he has.
Yes, he has.
I didn't recognize him. Greg texted me a picture of him, talking about Brian Sabian. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start with something no one gives a shit about.
Free agency.
No, it's the God, and I already forgot the guy's name. Sharks player that just left.
Oh, Patrick Marleau.
Yeah, Marleau's gone. Marleau went
That's
to
a big thing.
Blues,
That's
right?
a big St. Louis. Yeah,
Yeah, St.
that's
Louis
a
Blues,
big thing.
So sucks for you guys.
He's probably, I think he's their longest tenured Shark. Played the most games, scored most goals. They were debating on whether they were going to keep him or not. And I think for that much money, I think they just said, "See ya." They need to make some changes.
Yep. Let's see. You got a coin in your pocket by chance?
I do not. Are we flipping a coin for something?
We are going to flip a coin for something. We're going to flip a fake penny.
Okay.
It's got a heads and tails. It's just plastic.
Okay.
I'll let you call it, or I'll let you assign it. Heads is going to be baseball talk, Giants, Major League Baseball, All-Star Game, and trade deadline. And tails will be NBA free agency and Kings talk.
Okay. We're going to do both eventually, right?
We are, but this is going to be.
What goes first?
Yeah. So, what do you want? Heads or tails to be? NBA or you want heads NBA or Major League
Let's
Baseball?
make heads NBA.
Okay. We're talking
Talking baseball.
We're going to start off with baseball. Sorry, folks. Let's start off with the
Giants are going to win the division.
No, we will get.
They won 6 in a row. They're going to win the division.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Let's start off with All-Star Game.
Oh, okay.
All-Star Game rosters have been announced.
And surprise, one Giant made the All-Star team.
Yes, he did.
And one A made the team.
Yes, he did. So let's start off with the American League starters. First base, Justin Smoke, Toronto Blue Jays. No clue who that guy is.
Rookie.
Okay. Second base, Jose Altuve, shortest man in baseball.
Funnest guy. I like watching him play.
He is fun to watch.
He is fun to watch.
This is his fourth All-Star appearance. This is his third in a row.
Yeah.
No, wait. All-Star. This is his fifth All-Star appearance. This will be his 4th in a row.
Oh, okay.
2012, 14, 15, 16, and now 17. Shortstop, Carlos Correa, Houston Astros as well.
Yep.
Rookie, first appearance. No, not rookie, but first appearance. First Astro player ever to start at
Really?
third base, Jose Ramirez, appearance for the Cleveland Indians. First third baseman to start an All-Star game since Travis Fryman in 2000.
Okay.
Catcher, Salvador Perez, Royals. This is his 4th straight in a row.
Really?
2013, 14, 15, 16, and now 17. So it's
okay.
5 in a row.
I don't watch very much American League Baseball, apparently.
Nope. Aaron Judge, fucking Superman.
Oh, right.
Starting in left field or in the outfield.
They asked him today. I saw him interviewed today. And they asked him if he was going to be in the home run derby, and he said he hadn't made up his mind yet. But he also had this shit-eating grin on his face. So it was fun to watch him in the home run derby.
Someone says Kings need a punter. I'm gonna guess that's James. No, Brian Contreras says Kings need a punter.
Fucking punter.
Let's see. Marlowe, Mike Couture is a kid still. Barnbaum said he got to meet with President Dave Cavall yesterday. Had a great meeting. Pictures from our meeting have been posted to Facebook and Twitter. Cool. Thanks, Mike.
Wonder what that meeting could have been about.
Bart. Let's see here. So Aaron Judge is the man amongst boys right now. Did you see Melky Cabrera troll him, though? So Judge hits the ball at the left field. Cabrera goes back on the fence, comes up, comes down, looks at the stands, and starts slowly backpedaling backward the infield. And Judge in second base, and he's starting to get excited. Melky just turns around, holds the ball up. He's like, yeah, I caught it.
Kind of like, did you see the home run yesterday that
Yeah, Slater
hit?
What the hell? He's like, did
right.
it go over? Did it
He
not?
almost ran back to the dugout.
Yeah. So there was that. Trout, outfielder, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17.
18, 19,
20,
22,
yeah. 20, 40. Yeah, Trout's a man. He is a man. He's the man.
He is.
George Springer, first appearance for the Astros. The Astros have 3 starters.
Pretty amazing.
And then Corey Dickerson's the designated hitter for the...
So would you call the Astros Philadelphia 76ers of Major League Baseball?
No, because they win games.
Yeah, but for a while they tanked. They tanked for years.
He is from Linden, California. Good job,
Yeah.
Mike. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. AL pitchers, Chris Sale, Dallas Keuchel, Irvin Santana, Jason Vargas, Luis Severino, Yu Darvish, Michael Fulmer, Corey Kluber, Lance McCullers, Craig Kimball, Andrew Miller, and Dylan Batistas. So Houston also has Dallas Keuchel and Lance McCullers Jr. So they got a pretty good staff. And then AL reserves, Gary Sanchez, Yonder Alonso, that's your first baseman from the Oakland Athletics.
Right.
Starlin Castro, Jonathan Shoup, Miguel Sanu, Francisco Lindor, Mookie Betts, great name, Avisail Garcia, Michael Brantley, and Nelson Cruz.
I know like 5 of those guys.
Right. National League starters. First base, Ryan Zimmerman, Nationals. First appearance since 2009.
Wow.
So welcome back.
He's having a good year.
Daniel Murphy, Washington Nationals. All-Star appearance 2014, 16, 17. Shortstop. This one's kind of surprising. Zach Cozart, Cincinnati Reds.
Really?
Yeah, Cozart was our Reds player to start at shortstop since Hall of Famer Barry Larkin in 2000. Third base is a no-brainer, Nolan Arenado.
Oh, yeah.
This is his 3rd in a row. Catcher, no-brainer, Buster Posey. 2013, 12, 13, 15, 16, and 17.
And the only reason 14... No, that wasn't when he got hurt.
Let's see. Willie Mays, Barry Bonds, Orlando Cepeda, Johnny Mize, Will Clark, Mel Ott, McCovey are the only other Giant, all the other Giants with at least 4 All-Star games. Buster Posey joins them. Posey will be the first NL to make 3 straight starts, and Hall of Famer Mike Piazza made 6 straight from 94 to 99. Outfielder, another National, Bryce Harper, 2012, 13, 15,
Did you see the game tonight on ESPN? He hit 1 home run that barely cleared the wall, and 1 just rocket.
Nice.
What are they doing? Latest on
TJ says...
That's Boston.
Let's see. Barnbaum says the Astros are currently a super team in baseball like the Warriors are in basketball.
No, they're not.
TJ disagree with that. They're a team that was built from the ground up. Say that because they're a division rival. TJ wins that one. I don't have like ding 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 in here, but TJ is absolutely right.
Yeah.
Barnbaum's just a hater. Charlie Blackmon having a great year in center field for the Rockies. His first appearance since 2014. And Marcell Ozuna, we're going to get to him in a little bit. First appearance since last year. This will be his second in a row. Outfielder for the Miami Marlins. Pitchers, Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer, Robbie Ray, Zach Greinke, Carlos Martinez, Steven Strasburg, Kenley Jansen, Greg Holland, Wade Davis, Brad Hand, Corey Knebel, and Pat Neshek. Your reserves, Molina, Paul Goldschmidt, Joey Votto, DJ LeMahieu, Josh Harrison, Jake Lamb, Corey Seager, who's amazing, Cody Bellinger for the Dodgers, who's even more amazing, Giancarlo Stanton, we're going to get to him in a minute, Michael Conforto, and Ender Inciarte. So
I like the NL bench out of all four of those things.
It's a really good bench. So here's my question for you. Let's get to the Giants. So congrats to Buster Posey, obviously. As of right now, the Giants. So up until the series against the Rockies, the Giants hadn't had a 3-game win streak in like years. It seemed like, and that was their first sweep of the season.
Right.
Then they back and they sweep another series against Pittsburgh. Now they've won 2 series in a row, 6 games in a row. I don't want to say they're back. Obviously, it's going to be a long way to go. They're playing good ball. They're hitting the ball. Belt hit his 16th home run today, 43rd RBI. He did something that I've been wanting him to do for so long, and that's bunt against the damn shift.
Right.
He's one of the best bunters in baseball, oddly enough, and he never bunts against the shift.
I've seen him do it a couple of times. He's starting to do it a little bit more, but if you want
defenses to play you honest, you bunt against the damn shift.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Playing great defense too. Giants.
Really good defense. The catch that Pence made to make up for missing the ball on the wall today was great.
And the catch that Belt made going away from home plate.
Yep.
Over the shoulder. That was an awesome catch.
TG says NL bench is fire. Agree 100%.
Yep.
It's been a nice little turnaround, right? And pitching's starting to come along.
Yep.
Samardzij's looking really good. Matt Moore is kind of, he's shaky.
Dyson, the guy that they picked up off waivers from the Rangers, is now their closer.
We're going to talk about him in a minute and about what that means for Mark Melancon. We're going to go ahead and say that, Samardzija is a lock for comeback player of the year, basically, so far for the Giants, because he didn't have a good year last year, and he's been doing great so far this year. So here's my question, though. We talked about it a little bit last week. Do the Giants need to be aggressive sellers while still being buyers at the deadline? I know that a lot of people are like, well, you can't be both. Well,
yeah, you can.
You can.
You can.
And is it time to do that? I mean, they still have a window to win, but is that window closing quicker than Bobby Evans and Sabian may realize?
I don't think so. I think this is how I talked about it last week too. Is they have a lot of pieces in place. Mm-hmm. Just everybody seemed to be in a slump this year. And I heard a couple of stats over the week that really kind of blew me away.
Okay.
Number one, I think I mentioned this one last week, is they are number 2 in quality starts in the National League. They have only lost 3 games that they've been leading after the 7th inning this year.
Okay.
When they score 3 or less runs, and I don't remember what the record was, but they're like 25 games under 500 when they score 3 or less. When they score 4 or more, they're like 6 or 7 games above 500.
They're also, I want to say, in the positive in extra inning games.
Yep.
They lead the league in sack flies. That's not something you want to be happy about. Tommy. It's starting to come around. I mean, they're 15 back at Colorado for the wild card.
They're not going to do it.
The Dodgers are running away. But the only thing that Giants fans should hold any kind of hope for, and I don't think it's going to happen just because they're playing too good a baseball, is think back to last year. The Giants were running away with baseball in every aspect until the All-Star break. The All-Star break hit, and they were the worst team in baseball.
Right.
So, that week-long break can easily screw things up for any team. And I don't think it's going to happen to the Dodgers.
No.
But it could happen to Pittsburgh. It could happen to the Cubs. Well, the Cubs are already terrible. the Cardinals,
the
Rockies, the Diamondbacks. It can happen to any of those, wild card teams. So, and maybe the Giants bounce back, and maybe they try to win a couple more games, and I'm okay with that. But a big piece to that is a gentleman by the name of Madison Bumgarner. Now, Bum had his rehab start in Sacramento. Like, I drew a blank on the one city I should know, right? In Sacramento on Friday night, I don't want to say he looked bad, but
I think it was a tale of two Bumgarners.
It was basically his fourth time on the mound. And
the way I saw it, because I went in, I wasn't watching it on the field or live. I went into the I don't know, what do you call it? What's that? The new room that they have?
The Legacy Club.
I went into the Legacy Club and I was watching it on this 10-foot giant TV,
yeah.
and I did that on purpose because I wanted to be able to watch where the ball was going. And for the first 2 innings, everything looked slow, up, and right over the middle of the plate. I mean, it was like batting practice he was throwing. Then in the inning, something clicked, and all of a sudden the ball was breaking down. He's moving it around, and he was able to make pitches. The first 2 innings, they teed off on him.
Yep.
So I think that third inning that he pitched really kind of gave me a little bit of hope. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I would say probably sometime after the All-Star break. But, he made it sound from, well, we'll talk about it in the video the audio that you're going to share here in a minute too.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and we'll play that audio here. It's a couple minutes long. We'll just let it play through. It's some stuff from him being Madison Bumgarner about his return, how he's feeling, and what Giants fans can hope for. So let's see how this works. Do we have audio? Do we have sound? That'd be great. No? Maybe? Oh, maybe. Hold on. Maybe if I turn it up.
Yeah. That little knob. Is
Sound guy.
I mean, each time out, that's the fourth time off the mound, the hitters, and each time out, been better and better. Honestly, it felt pretty close to normal for me. I mean, everything felt pretty good. The slider wasn't great. Some of them were okay. Later on in the game, they got better, but that was the one pitch that I gotta get to be a little better before we're ready. So it's close.
What are you looking for? Are you looking for results, or are you looking for just strengthening yourself? What are you looking for?
This media guy's a douchebag, by the way.
I mean,
The Associated Press guy.
So far everything's been good. So it's kind of just like spring training again for me. So get the learning stuff and get it to 7, 8, 9 minutes. Everything's normal right now. So far so good.
From a routine standpoint, did it feel all that different being here in Sacramento?
No, everything's what I go about.
That's Sean Cunningham there.
The same and so no, everything was pretty good for me.
Does a packed house like tonight and the energy
That's
help
another
you back to
DB
what
there.
you're used to?
Yeah, it's a different environment, but it's still a lot of fun. Just getting our strength up to like I said earlier, to be able to throw 100+ pitches. It's kind of spring training again for me right now. So that's where we're at.
Do you feel like you say it's spring training? Do you feel like you're getting the spring training?
Anyway, so basically he goes through and they talk about where he's at, his routine, what he needs to do. He says he's basically day-to-day. I do ask him a little bit later on if there's a timetable set. He says right now we're day-to-day. We're just taking it one day at a time. And then I asked him at the very end. This was after the main media session had ended. And I asked him if he had any messages for Giants fans, that are excited to hear he's on his return. And basically what he said was, thank you guys for your support. Really do appreciate it. I feel the love from everybody. We're working as hard as we can and as fast as we can to get back, but we're not going to rush it because we don't want to prolong anything longer.
Yeah.
But it was good to see him back. It was good to see him working on some things. He was in midseason form when it came to his frustration with the umpires. He was definitely letting them have that a little bit.
And midseason form in Snot Rockets too.
I didn't catch that.
I caught a couple of them. Yeah, he
nice.
had some good Snot Rockets.
So it's good to see him back. The other guy that we were hoping to see play, he was hurt. He didn't play that night, was Christian Arroyo. After the game, I saw him in the park and I asked him, hey, when you come back? And he's like, oh, tomorrow. I'm back in the lineup tomorrow. He got hit in the hand and it bruised his hand. He was out for a couple of games. And then he's like, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Everything will be good. Second at bat back, first game, gets hit in the same hand, breaks his hand, out 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
Bochy said it's a bad break. Just looking at the x-rays, anybody in this room would be able to tell it's a break. That's how definitive it was. So, not being a doctor, Bochy can tell. So there's that. So let me ask you this. So back to the Giants. Aside from Bumgarner, Posey, and Crawford, we talked about this last week. Do you make moves? I mean, do you listen to offers of Span and Panic and Belt, Melanson, basically anybody in the bullpen, Cueto, Samardzija? I mean, is there anybody other than the big three that I mentioned that you're not at least fielding phone calls on?
I'm not a fan of breaking up the infield.
Okay.
I don't want to see. I like that core infield.
But you're okay with Belt going.
Yeah, I guess. If Posey's willing to go to first base.
True.
That's the only way that I'm all right with it. I'm not all right with bringing in another first baseman.
Okay. Fair.
I'm all right with trading Cueto, and I actually heard yesterday that Cueto said he'd be interested in re-signing with the Giants next year.
Opt out and then re-sign?
Yeah. So if they trade him, send him out, let him win a ring. Let him play in the playoffs, and then if we can, re-sign him next year.
Yeah.
But if they're going to be aggressive and they're going to go out shopping, they need to get corner outfielders.
Mm-hmm.
Or outfielder. Period. I mean, I'm fine with getting rid of any of the people that call themselves outfielders on the team.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, because I said I was going to mention two players later. Marcell Ozuna, Miami Marlins, Giancarlo Stanton, Miami Marlins. Two big hitting outfielders.
I don't know that we have enough to get Giancarlo Stanton.
Let me put it in a way that might tell you otherwise.
Okay.
Miami Marlins are up for sale.
True.
Derek Jeter and company are in the process, and it's nearly done to purchase.
Right.
Giancarlo Stanton got a $300 million plus offer or deal that's on the books.
Right.
The Marlins are a bad team. If you're Jeter and company coming in, do you tell the ownership group if you can move them, get those big contracts off the books so we can start fresh? And do you just kind of have a fire sale, see if a team will take him over? You may not need to give him up if the new ownership is coming in and saying, hey, you know what? We're not really, we'll keep him, but we're not totally comfortable with the paycheck that Ozuna had to get and with the big paycheck that Giancarlo has to have. We want to start fresh. It's not your team anymore. What does it matter to you if you trade him? Clear the book for us.
I can see Jeter do both things.
Mm-hmm.
Jeter knows what it means to build around one cornerstone player. And I think that Stanton could be that cornerstone player for the Marlins. He's a big hitter. He's loved by everybody down there. Big Latino base.
Yeah.
He's very Latino.
Breaking news.
That was stupid.
That was very stupid.
And I could see them building. And I'm not sure. I can't see Giants taking on that pay. I just can't do it.
If it locks up a big outfielder for X amount of years, and you don't have to worry about. He's locked up for 4, maybe 5 more years.
The only thing he's got going for him for the Giants is he hits right-handed.
Yeah.
He hits right-handed.
When's the last time the Giants had a big right-handed hitting player? Aside from Posey.
And Posey's not a big hitter. Posey's a good hitter. He's not a big hitter.
True.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
And if I'm not mistaken, those condominiums that we've talked about multiple times, I want to say that opens up near, so they have all that extra money that's not touched by MLB sharing.
Well, and they got tons of money anyway. They're like the 4th highest income generating team in the major leagues.
Yeah.
And they don't spend anything. They got to get outfielders.
Yeah.
So if they can get Stanton, again, like we always say, I'll pick him up.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll pay for his Uber.
Right? You'll be his Uber driver. What are you talking about? You'll
That's
do it
right.
for free.
So they need to do that. I still think they have the pieces to make a run next year. They have to stay healthy. If they can redo the outfield, I like this Dyson guy,
Yeah, me too.
and the reason I like it is what was that?
Screenshot.
Okay.
for this.
Okay. I like him because now it's starting to set up where you have an 8th inning guy in Dyson or Melanson, and you have a 9th inning guy in Dyson or Melanson.
Yeah.
And so now you can play 7-inning games because I think both guys are shut down. Melanson's been hurt all year. He's been hurt since day one. He gets healthy. Dyson is I don't know why he started pitching good and he wasn't pitching well in Texas, but he's now, unhittable. And if you can put those two and get an Okert or a Gorin or Guerin or somebody else that can pitch the 7th. Guerin had a great shutdown inning today. You get those kind of guys going. All of a sudden, you're playing a 6-inning game, and there's your quality start. You have a quality start, and then you shut them down the 7th and 9th. I think they have the pieces there. I think the keys are outfielders, and we got to settle third base too. Third base needs to be settled.
Well, let me ask you this: if you open the phone lines on Panic, and you make it well known that it's going to take 2, maybe 3 top prospects to land him, and a MLB-ready Gold Glove second baseman. It's going to take you, at least 2 high AAA guys, or being a Major League Baseball guy, and 2 triple guys, or a triple and a high AA, ready to go for his services. That doesn't even need to be a second baseman because you can put Arroyo at second base. You can put. You can put what's his name at second, Tomlinson at second base as a stopgap.
It's a stopgap. He's not an answer.
Arroyo could be an answer at second base.
Yeah.
And then you put Quan at third. They brought Quan over from Korea for the reason of being a future infielder for this team, and he's proven his worth right now, both in Sacramento and in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So if he can continue to blossom at third base, you get some good stuff for Panic. Move Arroyo to second, you still have a homegrown infield, and you gave up a batter who's up and down. And you gave up a Gold Glove, but you get and one of those high prospects or one of those Major League Baseball guys need to be a corner outfielder. No ifs, ands, or buts about
absolutely.
it. You're not going to take on pitching. You're not going to take on anything else. It's got to be an established hitter on the outside.
Yep.
Do you hang up on people or do you do it?
I think you listen. I'll go back to I'm not a fan of breaking up the infield at all. And I guess it's the fan in me, not the person thinking about the best long answer to Giants winning. I just don't want to see this infield broken up. The players all fit well together. They all fit with the Giants. They fit with the fans. They're all good guys. I don't know. I'm torn on this one. I'm torn on breaking up the infield. I really am. What do you got over there?
Fucking barn bomb on. They're tagging me and shit and blowing me up. Anyways. So I'm excited to see what Bobby Evans and Brian
I am too.
Sabean
It's going to be
do.
interesting. It's going to be
because
interesting.
this may be for the first time in years that we see 2, 3, 4 trades of players that are in the mix. I think Span gets moved. I think Cueto gets moved. I honestly think that we could see Panic or Belt get shipped off to a contender somewhere.
The only thing I don't see Belt leaving is his contract. His contract is too long and too much for his abilities.
Move Brandon Belt to. We've talked about this number of years. Send Brandon Belt in a couple pieces. Maybe Kyle Crick, maybe Beatty. I don't like the idea of getting rid of Beatty, but you have Crick, and he came up. Send him to Miami. Give me Giancarlo Stanton.
If
You
we could.
swap a batter with big power potential that can't figure it out for Stanton. It's a piece that Jeter and company might be able to build around, and it's half the cost.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you still got some power. Maybe Belt just needs. You know what I think Brandon Belt's problem is? Is Levi's fucking big ass wall in right field. Doesn't he seems to be intimidated by there's a lot of you've seen players. I think Pablo Sandoval is a great example of it. They hit well, a switch hitter hits well from both sides of the plate, right? He goes to Boston. He's like 50 times better from the left now than he is the right because the big monster's out there, and I think it freaks him out. I think it inhibits some of these guys' ability to hit the ball everywhere because they're literally intimidated by the dimensions of a certain ballpark. And I think Belt is bothered by it because Belt hits for power on the road better than he does at home.
Right.
And there's not a lot of 40-foot walls or 22 feet wall, whatever the
24
hell,
feet.
however tall it is. There's not a lot of those in Major League Baseball.
No.
Put him in Miami. It's a hitter's ballpark. Lefties hit very well there. Dude, I cannot believe that
$400 million luxury tax in 2020.
No, I can't believe that they were able to lock up living. We'll get to that in a second. Let's talk NBA. Salary cap aside, we're going to talk free agency. The big one is we'll start with the Warriors. Steph Curry, 5 years, $201 million. This is announced after they lock up Sean Livingston, 3-4-2 or something like that. But Curry, in his first, 7 years in the league, 6 years in the league, however long he's been in, made $42 million total.
Darn.
He's going to make $44 million a year now over the next 5, getting paid $1.67 per second.
Is that what it is?
Of a game. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad. And then they lock up Andre Iguodala. It's like, are you kidding me? Where are you get? Which means Durant's going to get paid $13 a game.
Right.
And he's going to do it. And then next year he's going to get maxed out.
Right.
And get paid like bajillions of dollars. And they're going to continue to win. But let's go ahead and start with NBA free agency. The Kings really haven't done much. We're going to what they're doing and what they've been rumored to be doing. The big rumor was Paul Millsap just signed for 5 years, $90 million, or 3 years, $90 million. Was it 3 or 4 years? I'm sorry, I just got the alert for it.
I didn't see that.
3 years, $90 million with the Nuggets. Kyle Lowry, who the Kings were also rumored to be around in talks with, stays with the Raptors at $100 million. The Kings are still rumored to be courting Zach Randolph. I would love that. They offered a max contract to Otto Porter, 5 years or 4 years, $106 million.
Washington will match that.
We'll get to that. I think they're going to.
Really?
I don't think they're going to, and we'll get to that in a second here. But let's just go through it real quick. Point guards: Steph Curry, 2 year, like I said, 5 years, $201 million max deal. Chris Paul opted into his final year at 24.6.
I have some comments on that too.
Go for it. We're on Chris Paul.
I think the Rockets hurt themselves in the long run, and I don't see them as being improved next year. I see them as taking a step backwards, and the reason is there's not enough balls to go around with that team, and they're going to do something stupid like get rid of Ryan Anderson. And even if they have him, how's he going to get a shot?
Speaking of Ryan Anderson, you see who you picture with today? Oh, you keep talking.
So I see the Rockets as struggling next year, and I think they made a huge mistake. I think it was a bad signing. Nice.
Yep.
I did see that, but I didn't know who. I was kind of going through it quick. I didn't. And Josh is a big boy too.
He's losing some weight though.
Yeah, he is.
He got some tires from me. He's been working on them.
Oh, did he?
He came over here and picked up some tires.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, cool guy. But yeah, I agree. Chris Paul's an idiot. He should have went to San.
Oh yeah.
Kyle Lowry, like I said, 3 years, $100 million. Drew Holiday, 5 years, $125 million to return to the Pelicans. Jeff Teague, a guy we talked about last week, $357 with the Timberwolves. Patty Mills, a guy we talked about last week, stays with the Spurs, $450. Sean Livingston, $324. I think so far Minnesota is winning this offseason.
I was just going to say the same thing.
They are doing amazing things right now.
Right.
Let's see, other point guards, no one gives a shit about. Michael Carter-Williams goes to the Hornets for 1 year, $2.7 million. Jose Calderon, your veterans minimum with the Cavs. Shooting guards, J.J. Redick, 1 year, $23 million with the 76ers.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Kyle Korver, three years, $22 million with the Cavs. Tony Snell remaining in Milwaukee with $46 million over 4 years. Langston Galloway got 3 years, $21 million with the Pistons.
Jesus Christ.
Ben McLemore, former King, 2-year deal, $10.7 million with the Grizzlies.
Celebrate.
Right, we're throwing a party. Small forwards, there's still a couple out there. Andre Iguodala, like I said, $348 with the Warriors. PJ Tucker, the Kings were looking at him. He signed $432 with the Rockets. Power forwards, Blake Griffin, $5,173 to stay with the Clippers. That blows my mind.
Yep.
Serge Ibaka, $365 with the Raptors. Again, the Timberwolves, Taj Gibson, $228 with the Wolves. Amir Johnson signs a 1 year deal for $11 million with the Sixers. David West re-signs with the Warriors. Nene stays with the Rockets for 3-1.
Did you happen with him?
No.
So they offered him they agreed to a 4-year contract.
Okay.
But there's a rule in the NBA that says you can't offer a 4-year contract to anybody that will be 38 during the time of
That's
their
the
contract.
new CBA.
Yeah. So they had to cancel that contract. He went back out to free agency. So I guess they got that done. That was weird. I'd never heard that before.
So let's get back to what we said about Otto Porter. So, first of all, the Kings are scheduling a meeting tomorrow with Vince Carter.
love it.
I kind of like that.
I do too.
I think that's a good veteran guy to bring in. I mean, he's still got some game left in him. I say offer him a max deal. Screw it. Go for it. We got to hit the floor.
Not a max
Got to
deal.
hit the floor somehow.
Not a max
No, I'm just
deal.
kidding.
Come on.
They offered Otto Porter $4,106. A lot of people think
Way too high.
I don't think so at all.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. It's way too high for anybody but Sacramento.
I'll give you that.
They have to overpay. They're going to have to make him. He averaged 13.9 or something like that.
Yeah,
last
but
year.
he also had to do that behind Bradley Beal and
That's true.
and John
That's true.
Wall, which means now he'll be the number one option in Sacramento should he sign here. Juan said that they're going to match any deal for Porter. I don't think you pay $4,106 for a third option, locking up a max deal contract, especially when it's been highly speculated that now that John Wall's locked up and re-signed, that they're going to make a run at one DeMarcus Cousins next offseason. I don't know that you want to lock up Cousins' money potentially in a third option with Otto Porter.
But I also heard that Washington has never spent a dime in the luxury tax, and their owner is willing to start doing that.
I don't think that they're going to do it with Porter when next year's free agency class is so much deeper.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that they won't do it.
Well, I love that signing. If we can do it, I mean, I think that's a great signing.
Ready? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. It's going to be one of those things where Vlade is doing the right thing. Vlade is being patient. He's not overreacting. He's not freaking out about what's going on. He's biding his time.
He's got a plan.
He's got a plan.
Obviously, he has a plan, and he's sticking to it.
Absolutely. And it's good to see. It's good. It's good. He didn't take on Ryan Anderson's contract. The Rockets offered him Ryan Anderson for nothing. No player in return. Just take him. And Vlade turned it down. He said, no, I don't want to take on that contract.
Yeah.
There's no need for me to do so.
So, I mean, if they throw in, let's say they throw in a 2019 first round draft pick. Do you pick it? Do you take it?
For who?
For taking Anderson.
Take first round pick too? Yeah. TJ says Washington will be wasting their time with that. I'm convinced that he signs an offer sheet unmatched with either Stack or Suns.
Well, he signed one with. Has he signed the offer sheet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
He's meeting with other teams, from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I really think they go after Zach Randolph as well. I like the Vince Carter move. I still think we need to go out and find another point guard. Rondo is apparently meeting with the Lakers.
thought you were going to say he's meeting with the Kings, and I was going to
Nope.
scream.
You know who's meeting with the Warriors, though?
Who?
Swaggy P.
Oh, God.
If they sign him, that team's going to be destroyed. Brooklyn's one of the teams that Porter's going to be meeting with.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. See if I can keep a straight face on this. All right, so this is kind of odd. But,
It is very odd. I don't get this.
So we just got an email from a newly appointed group within the NBA. And it says it's not for immediate release, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it anyways because I don't think the NBA is going to hear it.
Yeah, we're not going to. We talked about this before, and we're not going to. Not going to read it.
We won't read the whole thing, but we're just going to give a gist to it. There's been a lot of talk about fans, season ticket holders,
Radio guys.
a lot of outside, we'll call it outside entities, reaching out to players on social media, trying to influence these players when it comes to their signings before they make their decisions.
Tampering.
Yeah, tampering in a sense. The NBA has apparently began to put together a task force that's going to start combing social media, and they will be looking for these instances of quote-unquote tampering.
Wow.
They're going to look for these fans that are making these statements, that are put into there, and penalty can be upwards of a loss of season ticket privileges without refund for violating league tampering policies.
Wow.
Never heard of this before.
And we've been given shit to
Barn Bomb.
Barn Bomb.
Mike, thoughts?
Yeah.
You're the first person that came to mind when I thought about this.
And in reading this thing, it also kind of says that they're going to go after one or two people in every city that they feel are being the most at violating us. So we're going to have to watch what we say, although we don't think they're going to hear us. But
yeah, I don't think they're going to hear us. I'm waiting for Mike to chime in. I know he's listening. Mike, we're concerned, bud.
Yeah, but you've been right all along. We've been wrong.
Yeah, we got to give you credit where credit's due. You always threw out the hope it's not tampering stuff on Facebook or on Twitter. Have you heard anything about this, Mike? Has anyone reached out to you? Has anyone tapped on the shoulder and given you some advice to tone it down or anything like that? I said this just came out about 3 minutes ago
right before we came on the air
on an NBA media wire. It's not for immediate release. They're going to make a formal announcement next week. Man, that's crazy. I'm glad I'm not a season ticket holder anymore.
Yeah, I am. So I got to be careful what I say, I guess.
Do you think if let's say you were the singled out one, right, for the Kings, do you think it would disband your partners as well, or would it just be...
Well, since my partner's been making all the payments, I'd be fucked.
Man.
So, yeah. I'm a little nervous.
What's worrying me right now is Mike hasn't responded, and I'm afraid that he's like deleting tweets. Like he's turned off our Facebook feed and he's on Twitter frantically deleting tweets.
Right.
With Macklemore now gone, so is Pizza Guy. Apparently Mike's not paying attention. Sacramento Kings will hire Papa John's as their official sponsor in Georgia. No, he won't be, Mike. Mike, focus. We're worried about you here, bud. TJ, what are your thoughts on this, man? I mean, you write a blog. You're not a season ticket holder, but what if you were singled out? It's like crickets. Do I have cricket noise?
I don't know. What's going on? Mike, where are you, bud?
I used to have cricket noise.
We need to apologize to you because we've been giving you a bad time all this time, and now the M's going to crack down on it.
TJ, Papa John. Are you guys not hearing us? Like, are we going through and not like broadcasting? What the fuck? Barn Bomb, come on, man. No? Maybe they already got him.
Maybe he's in tamper jail.
I'm not deleting tweets. I don't care if the NBA jails or penalizes me for tampering. Bring it on.
Oh, look at Mike fired up.
Mike got some Twitter.
Nice.
Wow. I didn't expect
yeah,
that.
you've been the only one that I've known that was worried about tampering, and all this time you were right, and now all of a sudden you're going to get fired up, Mike. Got to be careful. We got to be careful what we say.
I don't want to have to hire a new producer.
I don't either.
Mike, we're just kidding, dude. You didn't take it as you didn't.
God,
take it
Mike,
as well.
come on! You got to play along with us.
We were hoping that you were going to freak out. The NBA doesn't give a damn what fans say. Speaking of fans, the Big 3 League. See that? So it's all about Zach just wants Zach Randolph, and Vince Carter. I'd be down for that. Bring those guys back and meet them up with Dave Yeager.
Absolutely.
That would be great.
I thought that was fucking radio gold right there.
That would have been, but no, Mike got to get all confident. Son of a bitch, Mike.
Yeah, I like those two guys too.
This is Mike Barn.
Asshole. I was just kidding. We love you, Mike. Ooh, fun fact. Totally off subject, not even sports related. Did you see in the old Fuddruckers building on Sunrise what's in there now?
No.
Remember Lions restaurant over here on Manlove and Watt?
There are new Lions?
Yes.
Sweet.
I was like, I need to get in there and see if the potato skins are still amazing or not.
Dude, do you know how many nights at 1:30 in the morning, groups of us would go to the Lions over on Howe Avenue?
Yeah.
Where the
Denny's is now, right?
No,
a little bit up further.
It was where the Chinese Chinese buffet is. How many times we went there? How many times we got kicked out? How many times we'd had way too much to drink, and ordered tons of food. Some people might have, not me. I paid for everything. Some people might have walked out without paying a couple times. Oh, dude, Lions! I love it.
Right?
That was a go-to place.
My buddy Ryan used to work at the one right there on Manlove. I'd be in there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Potato skins and raspberry iced tea on loop.
Lion Burger. The Lion Burger.
Never got the Lion Burger.
Yeah. And the potato skins. Potato skins were to die for.
The potato skins were amazing. God, I would give up.
That made my day.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. That made my day.
I can't wait. I hit a buddy who the one who worked there, and we're gonna go ahead and go over there next week and have dinner. We'll have to.
I think I actually had prime rib there one time too, and it wasn't bad. I was really drunk.
Yeah.
So it could have been awesome, or it could have been horrible.
Dave Deuce Mason joining and listening to us, not talking sports at all. We're reminiscing about food.
Lions
restaurants. A little bit before your
Tell
time.
us your if you're out there and you've been to Lions, give us your best Lions story.
Welcome, Dave Deuce Mason. Yep, Mike. Yeah, we'll wait for those. But let me ask you this, Greg. Who is your with all the rumors and all the information floating around this right now? What is your ideal signing? Oh, since last time we talked to Bogdanovich is going to be over 3 years, $27 million. But who is your ideal player to come into this situation right now, based on rumors, or maybe not even based on rumors, based on players that are still available out there?
If Otto Porter's available and he signs, I think it's a win for the off season. I like Vince Carter. No swaggy P, none of that shit.
How do you feel about that Randolph rumor? I mean,
I like that too. I like anybody that's going to come in with a veteran presence that doesn't need the ball to be happy, that can play in an up-tempo, passing-oriented offense. I like that. I like that. Anybody that it is. Other than that, I might even be fine with them not being able to sign anybody. I know they'll sign somebody, but it doesn't have to really be a big name. I just want a veteran presence.
We got to sign somebody,
right?
We got it. We got to hit the floor. The funny thing is, Zach Randolph for the longest time was put on the same platform as DeMarcus Cousins. He was temperamental. He was disgruntled. He would. There was a lot of problems with the idea of him, and I wondered how fans would possibly perceive that. He's obviously changed his ways. He's turned it around, and I would love Zach Randolph. What do you think about potentially even bringing back Rudy Gay?
Ain't gonna happen.
You don't think so? He said he was going to meet with him.
Really?
Mhm.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
here's the thing.
Hold on, real quick before I forget about this. TJ had a good find. And now, TJ, was this on the Kings website or was this on the Wizards website? Because that makes it really important, or it may not. It may be on both. TJ has a thought that Otto Porter's coming to Sacramento, and the reason for that is on NBA.com. You cannot custom make an Otto Porter jersey. Remember last year when the players were starting to sign around, you tried to make jerseys and they're like, no, you can't do it. Kings.com will not allow you to make an Otto Porter jersey with the last name Porter on there. So that could be a sign.
Could be.
I would hope it's a sign. I think he would look great in purple. Oh, speaking of that, so Nike takes over this year.
That's right.
Did you see the mock-ups of the new uniforms?
No, I haven't yet.
So the Wizards, the Blazers, and one other released, just screen grabs of their uniforms laid out. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Is it way off? Is it kind of out there? Tell me they're not going T-shirt.
No, they're not T-shirt, but they might as well be going sheer. You lay them on top of each other, and you can see the front logo through the back logo. I'll pull it up here.
Okay.
NBA Nike jerseys. I hope that they're just prototypes and they're not, whatever. They just don't look good to me. As
long as you don't bring back the baby puke gold.
Hey, what are those?
I hate those. I hate those jerseys.
Let's see if I can just pull it up here. Images. I think this is the first. If I'm not mistaken, this is also the first year that they're going to be putting advertisements on the jerseys as well, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Where the hell is it? There was Nike and NBA to announce new 8-year deal becoming an official uniform of NBA. Will start 2017. 18 NBA. They're out. Come on, where is it? There was one that showed like the Blazers laid it out on their Twitter. It might have got deleted just for the maybe they weren't supposed to release it. TJ, if you could find this and link me to it, I know you saw it. Like I said, they were laid on top of each other and they were almost like translucent. It was really weird.
Those guys are wearing stuff underneath them, so
most of the time, yeah. I mean, I'll keep looking for it, but NBA back to free agency. Who do you think right now is the winner of free agency?
Oh, we were talking about Rudy Gay coming back first.
Okay, yeah.
What about Rudy Gay? So I actually, now that I think about it, I think I'm a little intrigued by Rudy Gay coming back because we've never seen him play without DeMarcus Cousins
in a long
stretch,
right?
And when he did play without Cousins, he was pretty good. So if he can learn how to share the ball a little bit, and not have to have massive amounts of touches and be the first option, I don't think I hate that idea.
I'm not sure that I hate it either. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible idea.
He's not coming back for the kind of money that he wants, though.
Kings have to hit the floor right.
Yeah.
I don't know what he necessarily expects. I mean, he's not the Rudy Gay of 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Where he was non-injured and didn't have any kind of issues. I mean, he's a completely different player when it comes to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm scrolling. I swear I thought I saw it in
and I'm watching these soccer go after these soccer refs. Great.
That's awesome. Just trying to scroll through and see if I can find this.
Don't worry about it.
It's in one of the Kings.
I'll find it later.
I'll find it later. But yeah, so who do you think right now is the winner or the winners? And let's give me a winner and a loser of the
winner by far is Minnesota.
Okay.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. With the draft day deals, with the free agent signings, they're by far the winner.
Okay.
Loser, probably the Knicks, just because they're
The Knicks haven't done.
they're a dumpster fire. If we were ever a dumpster fire, these guys have replaced us as the number one dumpster fire in the NBA. Who else would be a loser? And I think, people aren't going to like this, but I think Houston is a loser too. I think I think it's subtraction by addition. We always say that like the Kings improved, addition by subtraction of Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
I think they hurt themselves with the Chris Paul signing.
Okay.
And I think it's subtraction by addition. And I don't see those two guys meshing. I don't see there being enough of a ability to share the ball. They're going to be not one-dimensional, but two-dimensional.
Okay.
And who is going to play defense?
Nobody. They're just going to have to outscore everybody.
There's not one person right now on that team that can play defense. All the guys that play defense are now on the Clippers.
Yeah.
So unless they make some big signings, which I noticed a couple of names flicker past on ESPN. I don't remember who it was, but I just don't see them being. I don't see them as taking that next step towards the Warriors. I just don't see it. I don't see Paul as having the same kind of attitude that Kevin Durant had.
What if Carmelo gets his opt out or gets bought out and signs with Houston? Does that change anything?
That makes it worse.
Okay.
That makes it worse. So you add another black hole to two black holes that are already there. Let him sign it. I don't like. I'm not a Rockets fan, so let him sign Carmelo. Carmelo is going to win with doesn't make anybody better. Carmelo is not a winner. He's a scorer, and he's a scoring machine. And they don't need another scoring machine. They need somebody who can stop the ball.
Yeah, I honestly think Houston overtakes Golden State as the number one team, and Golden State wins like 42 games next season.
Yeah, and the NBA just sent out a press release saying they're going to start tampering by fans.
No, I was sending a Snapchat to George, the guy that did our camera work for us last week, or last night, Friday night. He's a huge huge fan. I wanted to just get his reaction to that. No, they're going to be terrible. Houston is, and they're going to try to unload Ryan Anderson, who's one of their probably only defenders. I mean, they re-signed Nene, which that helps, but Melo's not the answer.
No.
They also signed the Japanese or Chinese kid, Yi or whatever the hell his name is, the 26th overall pick last year. They'll bring him over, but they're not. The NBA's parity is not going to be there. I mean,
no.
Did you see the top 15? The top 15 players in the NBA based on rank is 14 of those 15 are in the West Conference now that Paul George was traded. LeBron's the only one left in the East.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of that, Paul George. So Boston offered Crowder and like 2 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks at the All-Star break last year at the deadline, not including the Brooklyn number 1 overall pick, and Indiana turned it down. And then on draft day, they offered the number 1 pick and like 2 other first-round picks for future draft. They turned down. And then they ultimately end up trading Paul George to Oklahoma City for Sabonis and Oladipo. Do you think it was smart for Indiana, knowing that they were going to lose him anyways, to not take the best offer, which was Boston, simply for the fact that, from what I understand, the reason why they did it is they didn't feel like making the East stronger was a great move, and it would be better to move him to the West and get him away from one of their rivals or one of their division foes, and not stacking against them. They wanted the East to have an even platform.
But it's only 1 year. Everybody knows he's going to sign for 1 year, and then he's gone.
the difference, though, is there's a lot of thought around his circle that if he gets a taste of a championship or if he gets a taste of deep in the finals, he could stay if it's the right situation. And if the Lakers don't improve vastly, then he may not want to be a part of the Lakers. So
Right.
I kind of like the idea that Indiana was like, Boston, you're already a damn good team. You have the number 1 overall pick. We're
That's
not
true.
going to make you better.
That's true. No, I like that. Yeah.
So that's
right,
like
that
when
way.
the Niners, let Dion go to Dallas, or they traded Charles Hay Dallas. Like, why are you making a team that you need to get through to get to the Super Bowl or the finals better
Right.
by giving your best player away?
Be like shipping Cueto to the Dodgers.
Right, or Bumgarner to the Dodgers. You know what?
Right.
Go ahead and take him. Just put him with Kershaw. We'll try our luck. Fuck no. You're going to the A's. I'm sorry, Bumgarner. You're
Right.
now an Athletic. Good luck.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I like that. Noah Williams, you're absolutely correct. The 4 to 8 seed in the East could very well have a losing or just a 500 record next year.
Easily.
I would honestly say that the 3 seed could even be. I mean, it's going to be, who is it going to be? It's going to be Cleveland, Boston, and then who? Chicago? Toronto, maybe. So yeah, maybe the top 4 through 8 are going to be terrible teams.
Who's your number 4 team? Atlanta?
I don't even know if Atlanta's going to be any good. They got rid of Howard. They lost Millsap. They lost, Teague wasn't there. They lost, Teague was there, right?
Yeah.
They lose. Who do they have anymore? I mean, Atlanta hasn't done anything. They're going to fall from the graces.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's crazy to think that. No, you know who's going to be in the 4 seed, maybe even the 3 seed? It's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
The Bucks are going to be that team that I think shocks the world next year in the East.
Yep.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to continue to get better. Yeah, TJ, you beat me to it. It looks like, but and the reason why I thought about them was because I was clicking through that jersey search and I saw a Bucks jersey mock up. I'm like, oh yeah, they're still in the league. Man, it's going to be the East is going to be pathetic.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Rumor has it too that Adam Silver is finally admitting that the NBA draft lottery is not working, which duh.
Right.
He's also mentioned that, or there's also been rumors and speculation that he's okay with expanding the playoffs to the top 16 teams, not just Eastern Conference, Western Conference anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which the direction that the East is going, that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, but it's cyclical. So in 5 or 6 years, when the East is stronger, I just don't like that. That a change I don't like. But that's me.
Then what is there?
So, how would you fix the draft? How would you fix the lottery?
Football, same way the NFL does.
But you're still going to get tanking.
Doesn't matter. You're going to get tanking, but then those teams are going to ultimately get better. You're not going to have an opportunity for Boston to get the number 1. You're not going to have Cleveland getting the number 1 overall pick when they're a playoff team in 2 out of 3 years, or rewarding. You're not giving the Cavaliers an opportunity to be rewarded for losing LeBron to Miami and feeling sorry for him. So then all of a sudden the lotto balls, they jump from 5 to 1. The year that LeBron leaves and they get Kyrie Irving, fuck that. There's something wrong.
It's been fixed for
there's
years.
Something. The Lakers have had the top 2 pick 4 years in a row.
Right.
Screw you. There's no way. Yeah. And then the one time the Kings finally have a chance and they finally jump up from 8 into the top 3 for the first time in the history of the Kings, it's the year that they have to give the pick away. Come on now. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on with that lotto ball. If it was so transparent and it was so, by the book, they would show it on TV. It wouldn't be done behind the curtain. It wouldn't be put in a little envelope and revealed. No, it would be a lotto ball selection where a number comes up and they go, okay, that's them, and they would do it as the balls came out, like they used to do on the lotto show on NBC.
Yep.
It would be a ball. They would have it graphed out because ESPN could do it real quick. Ball 1, this number is this combination. Here it is, and they grid it out because they show us what it is on TV after the fact.
Right.
Because there's not some computer whiz that could be like, okay, how did it come out? Okay, we want Cleveland to win it. Okay, all of these are Cleveland. This is
Right.
the one that came up.
Right.
No, you make it transparent. You put it on scene. You show me that Cleveland is the lucky of bitches on the planet. You don't believe it,
Right.
and that to me is the worst thing about the NBA. It's
Oh, absolutely. And there has to be something to keep the teams from tanking.
Mike, you're retarded.
Whether it's the last team not to make the final, not to make the playoffs gets the first pick, or I've heard a couple other different scenarios where it's based on what place you're in when you are eliminated from the playoffs. There's got to be something, but the problem is, here's the other problem: there's not enough talent to go around. So if you're in the NFL and you have the 9th or 10th pick, you're going to get a pretty good player.
Right.
You're in the NBA and you get the 9th or 10th player, you're getting the guy who's going to be an okay guy off the bench for the next 10 years.
Pretty much.
You're not going to get that star
dimmer.
you're not going to get that star that's going to make a big difference. So I think there's two that are going to have to happen. They're going to have to change what happens in the lottery, and they're going to have to encourage players to stay and develop longer, so that those guys that are getting drafted, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th are better players.
We talked about that last week.
Right.
We said they need to actually utilize the developmental league to develop these players if they're coming out of college too early.
Right.
You got to find a way to make it work, and they don't. And they also need to fix this. They need their players' association to be a third-party group that negotiates on the players' behalf, but isn't head by the players. Because the way they're building this players' association, it's you can't allow super teams to be built. I'm sorry. There's got to be a way to fix that, and I just don't know that they're going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It takes the fun. I mean, it literally kind of takes the fun out of the NBA by the lottery being fixed, the super teams being stacked, and teams. Man, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like it's been around for so long, and it's such an established system that there's really not a way. You can't just throw a bomb in there, blow it up, and start something new, because there's still enough of that old school, relationship with the older fans and the older player and the older, the ones that know the NBA as it is.
But the lottery hasn't been around forever.
It hasn't been around forever, no, but I just think that if you blow everything up and you take away the Players Association, you take away the ability to build all these teams.
You're not going to get rid of the Players Association.
I mean, well, I'm sorry. Put limitations on it where they can't, they can't get together and be buddy and be like, oh yeah, hey LeBron, we're going to go grab these players.
But you stop that though. That's what
the
salary cap's supposed to do.
Obviously, luxury tax doesn't fucking matter to these owners. They want championships.
They're making money. They're making too much money.
Right.
They're making money hand over fist.
Right. So I think the idea that I had last week, and I'm sure I'm being biased to it, but a lot of people seem to like it. If I'm the Kings and you're the Warriors and we're both in talks with Steph, and you throw 5 years, $201 million at him, I have an opportunity to come in and throw 5 years, $220 million at him, but the cap on my team is still the 201.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea.
These players want money. You give them an opportunity to get money, but the littler market that has to overpay doesn't get penalized on the books. I mean, they get penalized on the books, but not on the hard cap where they can't sign other players. There's got to be something in there that allows the littler teams to build their own team, because there's not enough, like you said, there's not enough talent to build through the draft.
Right. There's not enough talent, period. There's not enough talent out there. So maybe contraction is something that they need to think about. Or they need to go the other way, and like we've been saying the last couple of weeks, is utilize the G League. Or make it more like baseball, where, again, we talked about this last week. You can come right out of high school, but you have to spend 2 or 3 years in the G League no matter what. Mm-hmm. And then, or if you don't come out of high school, you have to stay in college for 2 years or 3 years. Make it a penalty to come out early. So let's say let's say if you come out of high school, you have to go to the G League for a minimum of 3 years, no matter how good you are or not.
Okay.
If you go to college, you can be drafted after the second year.
Sure.
So it's a little bit more. I still don't like it. I'd love to see them play 3 years in college, but at least now you're forcing them to stick around a little bit more than 1 year, making them go to class for a year and a half instead of, they don't go to class now.
Hell no.
They take shitty classes. They stay eligible for the first semester, and then they quit going to class because they're gonna be gone by the end of the second semester.
Right. Once their basketball season ends and they stop going, they don't care anymore. The other thing too is, you mentioned contraction. I would love to see, but there's too much damn money in it to allow these teams to contract. They're not gonna find me owners that are gonna be like, okay, have a good day. I'm out of this. It's not gonna happen. You're screwed, and there's not enough talent to make it work.
There's a way to do it, and it's my favorite trivia question of all time is, how many teams were absorbed from the ABA to the NBA when they got rid of the ABA?
Okay, how many?
Well, there's 4 active, but there were 5 teams that were absorbed.
Okay.
St. Louis was absorbed. They're actually members of the NBA. The owners of the St. Louis, whatever they were, Hawks or whatever they were, St. Louis Spirit, I think is what they were.
Yeah.
They get 1/33 of the NBA
revenue.
Yep, and the TV deals because they contracted the team. So what you do is they have money. They have enough money. So let's say you get rid of Phoenix. Let's say you get rid of Sacramento. Let's say you get rid of.
Well, we have a new arena. We can't get rid of them. They're.
But you know what I'm
obligated.
saying. You know what I'm saying. You get rid of 3 or 4 teams, and somebody's going to have to go. Memphis and
Charlotte,
and New Orleans or whatever, and you keep those owners on the payroll, and they still get a piece of the revenue. But you can track those players, and maybe you would add another player onto the roster. So it's 16 active players instead of 15 or whatever it happens to be. So you're pretty much absorbing all of those players. But
TJ says the Spirits of St. Louis, and that deal went away a couple of years ago.
Did it finally go away?
No longer cut in.
Oh, okay. I know that they were for a long time, TJ, and that's my all-time favorite trivia question.
But even then, I mean, if you make it good enough for one of these older owners, or you get it to the point where one of these old guys, let's say they die off or they get sick or they went out, instead of giving them the option to sell the team, maybe the NBA bites the bullet and buys the team from them, and then they just ban the team. The NBA is going to make their money back by, even if they lose the team, they're still going to make their money back with TV deals and everything else, because that's one less share they have to take.
Right?
NBA just cuts them a check. Okay, your team, you've been a top team, blah, 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 blah. Shit, it could be, obviously there's going to be, their big markets are going to be safe because they're going to sell off those ones. But let's say it's a New Orleans or God forbid, Sacramento. Phoenix is a good example because they're they don't have a new arena, whatever. They do have the stick. But, one of those teams where it's like, you've been kind of a bottom dweller. You're one of our lower third of the TV market.
Unfortunately, if they do that, Kings are done.
Yeah, but I think you also take into consideration the fact that they have a brand new arena. They have a contractual obligation. The city put up an agreement with the NBA. You go to one of these teams that have an older building, who's out there? Houston's in an old building. American Airlines is still kind of new. Portland, the Moda Center's pretty damn old. They're a small market. San Antonio is still relatively new. You kind of look at the time. You go, okay, you know what? Your dude's 150 years old. He's finally kicked the bucket. No, we're not gonna have a situation like Mark Davis taking over for your team. We're not gonna have some little punk ass kid taking over. Your team, unfortunately, is disbanded. Your players get shipped off. You know what I mean? We're gonna pay you fair market value for your team, but guess what? It's gone now.
Right.
Have a good day. And then you don't have to travel to shitty Detroit anymore, or whoever it may be. But I don't know.
Speaking of fair market value, I was talking to James Hines earlier today, and he said that he read somewhere that when Joe bought the Warriors, he spent like $500 million for them. Okay. Now they're worth almost $3 billion.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
So where do you draw the line at fair market value when you're contracting these teams? And teams are worth
They're never
over
gonna
$2 billion.
contract.
I know.
They're never going to contract. The other thing I want to talk about before we end it tonight is, did you see? I don't remember what player it was. TJ, you'll know because you read everything. An NFL player is pissed and wants the NBA's structure to translate to NFL.
Really?
He said that the NFL is the biggest rating revenue sport in the world.
Of course.
They generate over $12 billion a year. The NBA generates $2 billion a year in revenue, yet these players are getting paid 6 times the amount. And, yeah, they play more games, but they're not getting their asses kicked every night. And he wants to see the NFL pay structure resemble more of the NBA pay structure. And I can agree with that, but on the same side of that, what do you tell the NHL when their guys are playing the same number of games?
But they don't make the kind of money that the NBA does.
They're playing, but they're playing the same number of games. They're getting paid like $6.
They don't make the. No, have you seen some of the contracts that have been being signed?
They're not as nearly.
They're not nearly as big, but they're big. I mean, nobody's certain. Nobody's going to be eating at Lions that plays in the NHL.
We should go to Lions.
I know, right? Can we do a live show from Lions?
I am down to do a live show from Lions.
They're not making that kind of money, but the NFL is, and I think this would go a long way to help the NFL players in the long run is by making contracts guaranteed.
Yeah.
And quit with this, okay, we're going to tell everybody you're making $115 million over 6 years, but actually you're making $42 million over 4 years because the last 2 years aren't guaranteed, and the rest is just a big bonus. And so here's a number that you can tell all your friends that you're making.
Who was it? Was it Tyrod Taylor that signed with Buffalo?
Yeah.
They're like, it's a $86 million deal, but really it's like a $14 million deal.
Yeah. So they give a number that you can tell all your friends you can brag about, but you're not going to see that money. If the NFL was forced to guarantee all that money, those players would I think it would be better for the NFL. I think the players would be around longer, and more so, they'd be taken care of over the long haul. Where some of these guys, play 2 or 3 years, and that's the thing is the average lifespan of an NFL player, average career is 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So you make those contracts guaranteed, especially the second contract, make it guaranteed. It's going to be much better for the players. Speaking of taking care of over the long haul, not football related, happy Babunia Day yesterday.
That was so crazy.
So I read some. It's not only the Mets that are paying him.
No.
Was it the Pirates and somebody else also deferred money to him, and the original deferment was like $5 million.
$9 million.
Yeah.
Why is it so high?
Interest.
Oh, it's because of the interest?
Interest.
That's what I thought. Okay.
And I think the Pittsburgh and I can't remember who else he played for. Deferment was like $3 million. It's going to be like $14 million over the course of the deferment.
I'm sorry. If I'm a Major League Baseball player and I'm coming up on like my final contract, if I know that I'm like, you know what, this will be my last 5-year contract, I'm putting in there. I want the last 2 years deferred. I want to be paid. You know what I mean? And I'll do it at half of the market's interest rate.
I think he was getting 8% interest, which is pretty high right now.
So like I would say, you know what? Every year we could reevaluate the interest, and if market's at 6, you pay 3% interest because I just want to know that I have that nest egg available to me should something happen. You know what I mean? That's a great fucking idea.
Whoever thought of that idea ought to be the agent of the century.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because I mean, it's completely taking care of him. I mean, can you imagine? Hey, it's July 1st. I can't wait for the mail.
No, it's June 30th. He's sitting outside licking his. I'm sure he's on direct deposit. He's checking his Golden One account. He's
Right.
like, come on, baby.
Start
Let's
checking
go.
checking my phone app to make sure. Oh, hey, look, $1.7 million into the account.
1.15, right? Is what-
I thought, yeah, something like that.
something like that. Still, it's ridiculous. But that's like you said, genius.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely genius. Bobby Bonilla Day. So last thing I want to talk about, and I don't know the specifics of it. I could look it up, but I'm not going to. They talked about it a lot today on the Giants broadcast, and Marty Laurie talked about it after the game. Today in Giants history was in 1950 something. Willie Mays hit his first home run today, which is cool. But there was a game. Hold on, I gotta look it up.
It was
because
in the 60s, I think. Was that the 18-inning game or
the 16 inning game.
Yeah.
So it's on this day in Giants history, blah, 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 blah. July 2nd, 1963.
That was a year and a half old.
I was a thought in my daddy's nutsack. It's in 1963. Juan Marichal went out against Warren Spahn, who was 17 years older than the 25-year-old Juan Marichal at the time.
Now, Warren Spahn, I think by then was a knuckleball pitcher, so he could throw tons of pitches.
So the game is zero. First of all, worst game ever to attend as a fan. Okay?
Not if you're not. No, I disagree with that.
That would be the longest, boring game as a fan when it ends the way it did. Because it was a 16-inning game. Now, I would have enjoyed it just because of what happened.
Right.
But in a normal situation, if a game ends 1-0 after 16 innings, you're probably going to be a little bit bummed out.
Did you like 18-inning game a couple years ago with the Giants and the?
Yeah, but they had like 6 runs.
No, it was 2-1, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. Anyways, but this is also a different era of baseball. Back then, there wasn't like crazy, like, I don't know, maybe they enjoyed pitching
No such
back
thing
then
as
better.
pitch count.
Right. Juan Marichal and Spahn both go 16-inning complete game. Willie Mays hits a walk-off home run to win it. It was at Candlestick.
Right.
1-0. I heard that on the radio today, and I was like, are you
Do
kidding?
they have the pitch counts in there?
I don't think they even calculated pitch counts.
No,
back
they
then.
did. I heard it before. I can't remember what it is, but
Oh, yeah. All right. In the 16th, Marichal allowed a 2-out single to Mickey and then registered his 48th out of the night on Larker's comebacker to the mound. It was Marichal's 227th pitch.
that's a week's worth of pitch. That's 2 weeks worth of pitching for most guys now.
And Spahn threw 201 pitches of his own, giving up 9 hits, walked 1 with an intention to walk.
So
And then get this, both men made their scheduled starts 5 days later, the Sunday before the All-Star game. Spahn complained of a sore elbow, which apparently flared up enough to cause him to miss 2 starts later in the month. He pitched through the lead, the 1963 National League with 22 complete games. God damn.
well,
He's 42 years old when he pitched 201 pitches.
yeah, it's even as late as
Mike, it's a credit union. Come on, man.
what'd he say?
What schools? And TJ, grow up. Get out of school's credit union. It's not 1994.
Well, even as late as the early 80s, the A's had some phenomenal amount of complete games. I want to say like 90 complete game pitched by their staff.
Whoa, not only that though, but I mean, isn't it true that Gaylord Perry pitched 2 complete games in a doubleheader and pitched both games?
No, I don't know about that. It's a different era. I think there's a lot of theories that I've heard. One is pitchers are starting to throw too soon, too much too soon, and the wrong pitches.
They're throwing curveballs too early.
Yep.
They're throwing breaking pitches way too early.
Right. I think they also I want to say that nobody was throwing a slider. Nobody was throwing on pitches that take that much of your elbow back then. Mm-hmm. It was fastball, curveball, sinker. That was about it.
Knuckleball.
And hell, a knuckleballer, they can throw 200 pitches, and it's not going to
Right.
kill them.
They're not going to give a damn about it.
Right.
So,
Um,
but yeah, I just thought that was I heard that today, and I was just like, damn, that's impressive.
yeah, no, it was pretty amazing.
Cool, cool. Well, Greg, it is 4th of July weekend. How's it looking for you coming up? You nice and busy? People
I'm
looking-
sitting my ass, resting my foot.
Yeah?
Yep, overdid it at the
River
River
Cats
Cats
game?
game. Yeah, boy, if I would have walked out of that press conference, I would have been in major trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got home and I don't remember going to bed. I was so tired. I don't
Wow.
remember going to bed. So
Next time, bring your scooter out to the River Cats game. Might be a good idea.
I know. I did have my first Merlinos of the year, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I had a scoop of Dippin' Dots.
Oh, did you? I've never had those.
Yeah, they're good.
Are they?
Yeah, they're kind of good. No,
I wanted the what was it, the bourbon milkshake, or I haven't had one of those. We need to go and have one.
I need to not be broke when I go to River Cats games.
Yeah.
I did get three. All of them were paid for. That was nice.
Did ya?
Yeah.
And I wanted a dinger dot. I couldn't find one, so I just had a
They're at
regular
every
hot dog.
stand.
I found a regular hot dog.
Really? Dingers are supposed to be at every stand. So one of the things that I was talking to Robert about was, did you notice how long the lines were at all the storefronts?
They were horrible. Yeah.
Apparently, they still haven't adapted to the rush. They're not
Really?
coping to the popularity of the new food choices, and it's not going over well with fans.
Yeah, there's a couple of the storefronts I wanted to go to, and I ended up at Rayleigh's because it was the one with the shortest lines.
Yeah. Fun fact, I also learned that the Solon Club and the American Health Lake Club, their bar, remember we said final pitch? 30 minutes after final pitch, the bar stays open.
Nice.
So you can avoid traffic, sit up there and have a bar if you have access to those two clubs.
Yeah, here's the other thing, though. I tried to get a hot dog at the Legacy Club. You have to have some kind of wristband.
Yeah, they wouldn't give you food?
No.
Out of the buffet?
Nope.
They give me cookies.
I was pissed.
So I have my kids.
I was pissed.
I went over, like, can I have a cookie? She said, no, you're not Legacy. And I'm like, I walked away. My kid walks over there. They called my kid over, gave her like 15 cookies. She came back to the table with like a 14-inch stack of cookies. I was like, good Lord.
So, yeah, I was kind of bummed. I didn't know that I wasn't Legacy.
We're me. We're not Legacy.
Well, I thought we had access to everything.
Yeah, but I don't get those privileges. We can't walk into a suite and grab beers.
Well, we could if Mark's there.
Yeah, well, when next game he's
I don't know.
We did get a good lunch, though. That dinner wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it. It was free.
It was free. That was about the best thing about it. It was a dry turkey sandwich.
Yeah, I had a ham and Swiss.
Oh, I had dry turkey.
Sheena had a veggie sandwich. I took her one. But yeah, it was a good time because George didn't eat his. So I was like, all right, Sheena gets George's. There we go.
Okay.
But yeah, so happy 4th of July to everybody.
Yep.
Be safe. Remember that this year, if you get caught with illegal fireworks, it's automatic trip to jail or tickets. It's
Is it really?
It's just get in the car, we're going.
How long?
I don't know, but it's not a good idea to have them. Be safe out there.
And also no drinking on the river either.
That's true. TJ, I will see you on Tuesday at the 4th of July barbecue that we're going to.
Nice.
If you need a ride to walk, 4 houses, you lazy son of a bitch.
I miss that invitation, but
I'll
that's
come
all right.
pick it up. Yeah, it wasn't TJ's party, so.
I miss that invitation.
But yeah, we will be back.
What about Serena? There's a Serena thing.
What's there?
Yeah, did you hear about
Her and McElroy going at it?
No, she got in a car wreck, and a couple of months ago,
Isn't it?
she got found guilty of causing the accident.
Oh, nice.
Somebody died.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yikes. All right, TJ. He lives like 4 houses away from where we're going. He keeps saying he needs a ride.
Uber.
Yeah, just Lyft over there.
Uber it.
Your driver will love you. Like, where are we headed? Right there. I felt bad. I took an Uber the other night from CoinOp to...
What is CoinOp? I thought you were doing your laundry or something.
No, CoinOp is
I'm out of it. I so don't know what's going on.
80s and 90s vintage arcade. It's like it has like Millipede and Pac-Man. Galaga was there.
Oh, we got to go. We got to go.
Gauntlet Legends, Street Fighter.
I got to get.
They have like 30 pinball machines lined up. They have everything in there. Everything's a quarter to. Well, some of them are 50 cents to play. Most of them are a quarter to play.
Nice.
And it's full bar.
Really?
Yeah, they have like 20 beers on tap, full bar.
I saw that the other night and I Googled it.
Yeah.
And some of the Yelp reviews are not good.
And if you go on the last Sunday of every month from noon to 2 a.m., it's all free play. You don't got to pay for the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a good time.
Live show?
Huh?
Live show?
That'd be awesome. They get pretty busy.
I kick your ass in Galaga.
Probably. Except it's not a competitive game, so go ahead. Oh, it
It
actually
can
is.
be.
Yeah.
It can be.
We need to get in touch with the brewery over on Hazel. Now that you're better, and do a live show there.
Where's the brewery on Hazel?
It's in the Nimbus Winery.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's right next to same parking lot as Cattleman's. It's in the building where Old Spaghetti Factory is.
Oh, okay.
You actually order food and they get it from Old Spaghetti Factory
Really?
or Cattleman's. Yeah, they
Is that where the Monster miniature
right
golf
next door to it.
Is that place still there?
Yep. We went to the brewery and then we went to Monster Mini Golf last time.
Really?
We were there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They said they'd be down to take over a corner and do a live show.
Really?
We just got to find a sound system of some sort to test out. I just need one of those damn portable speakers. That's all.
I can get one from Joe,
What?
my buddy that I DJ'd with. I can get one.
Yeah. What do you think
Heartbeat.
those things cost? They're about $100 a normal.
Oh, we can get a quality one.
Cool. Well, most quality ones are about $100-$120. So, and all we need is just the RCA outs right here, and everything from this will go out and still record, do everything. We can do
Yeah.
live shows anywhere. So let's look into that and let's try to do a live show.
Or I
from
think
the
my
brewery.
buddy Zach has one too, so we'll figure it out.
Cool.
Let me know.
Cool. Yeah. So on behalf of that Greg, I'm this Greg. 4th of July. Be safe. Have fun. Drink some beer.
Good night, Larry.
And we should see.